created. So
Okay.
one is Brixley, this is her, and then one is Big Willie. Well, everyone, hi, this is William Rochelle, but you can call me Bill. It looks like my intro did not play, which is okay because everything is not working today. And that's just how we roll with it. If it happens to come on while we're talking for some reason, because it's supposed to, uh, we'll roll with that as well. Can everyone hear me right now? Kinga, can you hear me? Aaron, can you hear me? Because I'm not sure. Is it playing outside? Yes, we can. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Well, Brixley did not do her thing. Um, but as I was complaining to Gabe earlier, it's just been one of those days where none of my technology has been working. So I hope to bring a great show to you guys today. This is Gpop. And how did you come up with the name Gpop, by the way?
My grandkids. So I was having my first grandbaby. My oldest son was giving me my first grandbaby, and he said, "What do you want my son to call you?" And we thought about it, and just came up with G-pop. I don't really know exactly how, but because I call my dad Pop, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's we just kind of put that together. My first name being Gabriel, so kind of did G-pop or Grandpop.
There you
So
go.
G-pop.
And how many grandkids do you have now?
I have one right now. I have a grandson, but I have a granddaughter supposed to be here in May.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So we were talking earlier about just the trajectory of our lives. And one of the things that we both stated was, didn't expect to be here.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
So, let's start off with what you were doing in your teens. You were
So,
boxing.
yeah, so I'm 50 years old, born 1975.
Gen X.
Yeah, 100%. And, growing up, got into the fight game, boxing, and like anyone else, wanted to go pro, everything like that. Started working at it, doing your thing. And when I was a teenager, one of the jobs that I got that I was good at was repossessing cars, and I did it well. We did it the old school way, and I don't know if a lot of people know the old school way. We
Did
did
you
it
feel
with
guilty about that ever?
sometimes, yeah. um,
I mean,
I've
like,
snatched a couple minivans out of the grocery store parking lot before, and I kind of felt like crap afterwards. I'll be honest. But
someone
as
has to. Someone, if you don't do it, someone's going to do it, right?
100%, yeah, 100%. Another company's going to do it, or one of my colleagues would have done it. So
Right.
it is what it is. I just and the pay at that time in that era and at the age that I was at, it was phenomenal. I was like, okay, this is keeping me afloat. This is, and I'm only working a set amount of hours so I can still train, do everything I want to do, and this wasn't in a tow truck. I was getting out and I was rigging the cars and taking them. This wasn't, we weren't using a tow truck. We were just using one of the cars we repoed. We were
Yeah.
all in it. We would jump out at another car, take that one, follow the other one, and then so on and so forth. And when we
How
had
would you get it
enough,
started?
we have a key gun. So every car, you can take off the inner door panel a little way, and there's a code. And then we have a little gun. We put the key for the model of that car in the gun. We put that code in there, pop it a few times, made a key for your car right there. Boom, go.
Wow. Okay.
And that's it. But now they drive around in bulletproof tow trucks. So, I mean, it's even easier now.
Okay.
But
So what happened? What
so,
happened that
yeah. So,
afterwards?
what had happened was, so for the longest time, I was working during the day in the repo business. I was taking cars, motorcycles, boats, jet skis, you name it. If it rolled, I took it. If it floated, I took it. And my boss hit me up one night and he was like, "Hey, I need you to work the night shift." I'm like, "All right, cool." And I was with two of my best friends in the world. They happened to work there. They got me the job. So we were all rolling out, going to do a job. The guy that we were repoing from didn't want us to take that car for some reason or another.
For some
Came
reason
out,
or another. I wouldn't want you taking
yeah,
my car.
came out with a shotgun and started filling it up, just boom, boom, boom. And he had the 12 gauge slugs, so it wasn't the buckshot; it was just the solid bullets, And it hit me right here in my wrist, went in right here, came out right there, and my wrist doesn't bend anymore. It no longer bends or goes anywhere. So fighting was out the window right then and there that night. Repoing was out the window that night.
Repo's out.
Military,
Repo's
everything was
out.
out the window.
Repo's
Hmm?
out. Repo's out because you didn't want to put yourself in harm again, or
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
couldn't do it.
I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was just like, no, I'm good. You know, um, yeah, I just didn't want to be put in that situation again. You
Absolutely.
know, that was it was terrifying. Just being so unprotected and so unaware that that was about to happen. That's what messes with you.
Yeah.
So, but we got through that. I got shot, got sent to the hospital, went through all that, and didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea. I was like, this wasn't the plan. This was not the plan. Um, I was supposed to be like fighting for Golden Boy promotions under Oscar De La Hoya or
Yeah.
something, and just getting down. Um, but that wasn't going to happen. And so one of my passions was motorcycles. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to school for that. So I went to Motorcycle Mechanics Institute in Phoenix, Arizona, and did the whole school, graduated, licensed technician or certified technician. And that's what I did for the next 20 some odd years. I did that motorcycle stuff. I worked for race teams. I owned my own race team at one time,
You
owned a few
owned your
shops at
own
one time.
race team. Hold on.
I
Hold on
did.
now. Hold on now.
Yeah.
You
And it was a
can't,
small motocross race team. It was
but you
nothing,
still can't
huge,
just
but it
like
was
pass through that. I mean,
it was cool. It was really cool to have something like that. I had a lot of young people that rode for me. And actually, it's funny that I even mentioned it at all. Appreciate you, Aaron. Um, you know, it's it's one of the riders that I sponsored that showed me how to start my TikTok.
really,
100%.
how long have you
He's
been on
still on
TikTok?
it today.
How long have you been on TikTok?
A year.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 year.
Okay. So,
So
so you owned your own racing team.
I did. Hmm.
Then you owned several shops. Kind of
Yeah, I own three
what?
shops.
And what did those shops do?
So one shop was just a fix it all kind of any brand, any year model motorcycle, you bring it in, it gets worked on. Then we had another one that was just like Harley based. And then we had another shop that was nothing but audio because I don't know if you probably seen it, even being in Florida, of course. These bikes are now putting serious audio on their bikes and just blaring while they're driving down the road, just loud. And so that's what I did for a while too. But I retired from the motorcycle business because too many of my customers kept passing away on them. And it never happened to me, but there was times where I would go to funerals or I would see the family afterwards. And sometimes in my mind, I would think that they're thinking in their mind, that's the fool that kept that bike on the road for him. You know, it kind of
Yeah.
messed with me a little bit. So the last kid, I say kid because he was 33, spent 2 weeks in my shop with me. And we worked on this bike. He had hit a deer, didn't get hurt physically, but messed the bike up, but got a good insurance claim. he said, hey, I want to do all this new stuff. I said, okay. He goes, but I want to learn how to do it. I said, you come in, hang out with me, and we'll do it together, and I'll show you. He said, okay, no problem. He was there every day. After work, he would work 12-hour shifts, come in, hang out with me, work on the bike. We got it done on a Monday. On Thursday, he was riding it, drinking a little bit, riding through Augusta, Georgia, and he ran right into a parked train in the middle of the night. Done.
A parked train.
Yeah.
That was on tracks. Like that was
Yeah.
sitting across the road.
Right.
So, wow.
It was terrible. And when that happened,
Bye, Aaron. Aaron's heading to a pool party in Vegas.
all right, Aaron. And when that happened, I was just like, I'm good. That was the last one. I'm good. And I was glad to just kind of walk away.
Yeah.
Just didn't need that kind of, it just stayed on my mind too much. When I was younger, not so much. But once I got older, my kids got older, grandkids in the picture. I'm just like,
life.
Yeah. I didn't, when I was a kid, riding these crotch rockets at over 200 miles an hour on the back wheel,
Yeah.
Stupid stuff I did when I was younger. And I think back and I'm like, I made it this far, really?
But when you're in your 20s and probably early 30s, everything seems possible. You feel like you're
100%.
invincible, and you're not really thinking about the consequences.
Right.
Like right now, I personally would not fly in a plane. Like at
Right.
this moment, like I would not do it. But my kids are like, "Oh, the planes are cheap right now, so let me go.
Right.
Let me go to Mexico." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" They're not gonna
I
let
hear
you
you.
back in.
Yeah.
So how did you first? Do you recognize now that was not your fault?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah. 100%. It's just, I just don't want that feeling anymore, and you get this feeling of loss, even just like so deep, even just after meeting someone for 3-4 weeks, and spending that time with them, but day after day, and then they're gone, and you're like, and then you start questioning yourself. You
Right.
sit there, did I remember this, all these things? So
It is it has to be a mind fuck. Totally.
yeah,
Totally.
100%.
So you sold your shops?
Yeah. So that's what I did. I sold them and did pretty good, was able to retire. Retired and, and I retired here where I'm at in South Carolina, and just kind of chilled out for a while. And then talked to one of my old racers, because I saw him on TikTok. I saw him selling all these things on TikTok. And I was like, hey, man, are you making any money doing this? And he's like, yeah, I really am, and I said, would you mind, just kind of showing me how? And he told me, he said, hey, go on there and, start getting some followers. And after that, hit me up and I'll let you know. So I did. I got on there and got about 1,000 followers. And in a couple of weeks, I took my time with it. I didn't go to this follow you, follow me stuff. I just wanted kind of authentic people. I was trying to find people I dug. And that's what I did. So I let him know, and he was like, okay, get on here and apply for the creator pilot program. And I said, okay, cool. So I did, and I was accepted. And it took a little while, excuse me, and to get samples, and I got one little thing here, one little thing there. But a buddy of mine on TikTok, he got this arm trainer thing that I have. If you see one of my videos, I got over 1 million views on one of them. And
all the stuff I would not use.
Yeah, he tells me, he's like, Gpop, let me tell you, man. He goes, I love this thing. He goes, but I think you would do great with it. And I'm like, really? He goes, I'm going to send it to you. So he sends it to me. They didn't send it to me as a sample. He did it on his own dollar. I get it. I make a few videos and they blow up. And I started getting thousands upon thousands of followers doing that. But at the same time, I started going live because my buddy, that the kid that was one of my racers, he doesn't know anything about going live. I just went live because I watched it and I saw people doing it. And so I was like, let me give this a try to see if I can even attract anyone my way to even be interested in speaking with me, you know?
Yeah.
So I had my phone, a little $5 tripod, my laptop with my my song list on it. I didn't even have my DJ controller or anything. And I would sit there and play R&B, and I would sit there and talk at the camera. And I started getting some people, right? But as I started learning about TikTok Live, I started flipping through it and I saw DJs. And I said, well, I got a DJ controller over in storage. So I ran my ass over to storage, got it, came back over here, started setting everything up. I knew what I was doing because I did Facebook Live during COVID, during the pandemic. And everyone was locked down. So I got on there and I was playing music for family and friends on Facebook Live. So I already knew how to set everything up, so I did it and started popping off pretty cool, you know, and made a couple bucks doing it, made a lot of friends, met a lot of people, you know, and still meet a lot of people daily, you know, when I do it. I've taken a little break from it, you know, in the past couple weeks. I decided that I wanted to go get a part-time job for a little while because I felt like I was in the house too much, doing too much in the house, and nothing was dragging me outside of the house. I don't have a lot of friends that I hang out with, or, you know, a lot of buddies that are stopping by, dragging me out of the house to go do something.
That's also, I
Go
mean,
ahead.
that's also age.
Yeah.
Um, you know, especially when the kids become grown, it's easier to meet people when your kids are young because
Yeah.
you're at, you know, taking your kids to parties or to, you know, karate or baseball or dance class or whatever.
Right.
Um, but once they become teenagers and they're gone, that we recognize that we've forgotten to make friends.
Right. You know, and I've done a lot of moving around because when I was in the motorcycle industry, I did move a lot around a lot at first. So I grew up in Tampa, Florida. I have a lot of friends and family in Tampa. Um, but then I had moved, and when I met my wife, I was in North Carolina. My uncle lives there, and I was living with him for a little while because I was helping him start a used car lot, and he wanted to start selling motorcycles. So I was going to help him get stocked up with bikes so that he could sell and show him how to price them and things of that nature. So I was hanging out there, and my wife had actually, we weren't married at the time, but she came with me over to Arizona, and when I went to school and everything. Once I left Arizona, I my first job was in Jacksonville, Florida. Then I went to Jacksonville, Florida. I've been in Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, again, Illinois.
What part of Illinois?
I was in it was a small town called Galesburg, Illinois.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
my mom lives in Springfield, Illinois. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a really small town. Not much going on there, honestly, and they're closed now. Um, but
what?
yeah, we moved around a lot, a lot, a lot.
Wait. The town is closed.
No, no, no. The Harley Davidson dealership.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. The dealership's closed now. They were there for a few years, and it just didn't work out, so they closed down. But yeah, it was just I've moved around so much that, you know, I've never made solid friends because I've always, you know, it's been like 2 years here, 3 years there, you know, and then you move and stuff like that. Of all the places I've lived, what's my favorite? North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You're
wait,
in
wait.
South Carolina,
So
right?
Yeah. So, well, of all the places I've lived, so I did live in a couple different places when I was younger too. So I have to backtrack on that one. So, of all the places I've lived, my favorite is Puerto Rico. That's my island. So Puerto
Okay.
Rico, yeah, that would be my favorite place, just because of the culture, the people, the view, of course, things of that nature. But not I don't envy what they're going through. I will say that.
What are they going through?
The power outages that are constant, the faulty water and everything. And this is not only in the low income areas. I have a friend who was a music producer for over 20 years and, did well for himself and lives in Puerto Rico, and he's dealing with it as well.
Really?
So it's hitting everyone out there. And
So why don't we know more about that? Or do we? And I just haven't seen it.
you know, I think, and I hate saying it like this, but I think a lot of people, not all people, but a lot of people see Puerto Rico as a place to go on vacation. It's nice and everything like that. And they think that they get all this help because they're part of the US. And I think it's just overlooked, you know, and we can't, we don't see it, so we don't talk about it, I guess. I don't
Well,
know.
that's kind of what I said to you earlier.
Yeah,
Um, if it doesn't affect some of us directly,
right.
we tend to move like it's
Yeah,
not happening at all.
right.
And I did a random act of kindness uh, mon, episode last week. So I do like breaking news where I just jump on and just say whatever's on my mind.
Hmm.
And this guy in Japan walked in and left 3 gold bars worth $3.5 million
Wow.
and said, "Fix the water system." And they did. But Japan, in the area of Osaka, um, they've had faulty water pipes for years and years and years,
Yeah.
and it took one person to change it. And there's so much money in the United States,
Hmm.
but we're using it. We're using it for things I believe that if most Americans were educated enough, they would say, why are we spending the dollars the way we're spending it?
100%.
Like, why do we not have health care?
Right.
Why are our seniors, struggling because we don't support them at all?
Have
There's
you
all these whys.
do you know what the Jones Act is?
Unfortunately, I do not, but you can explain it to me.
So the Jones Act is basically for like Puerto Rico, for them to get any goods, the goods that are shipped to them on a ship, it has to be American owned, American operated by an American company. So that means anything from China has to come here, get on another ship, then go there. Imagine their cost of goods in Puerto Rico. Double
So
what we pay
it
here.
absorbed it. Right. How long has
You
the
know,
Jones Act been in place?
over 100 years. And you know what just happened? Trump paused it.
Good.
He paused it because it's making it easier on shipping now for the United States.
But that's a
So
benefit for
the
Puerto
United
Rico.
States, well, the
It's
United
a
States.
benefit for you. Wait, so explain to me how that's a benefit for the United States.
Because it's making shipping easier for them because of what's going on in Iran right now. So there's a global, it's global now. And now the Jones Act can be paused, not because Puerto Rico asked for it, not because Puerto Rico was like, oh my God, please help us. Not because there was a hurricane, because there's a war in Iran. Now we're going to pause it. But it's been in act for 100 years. We've been asking you to take it off.
Well, you haven't been asking me, but
You know what I mean?
but the people of the United States,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. I think it if we really dissect everything
Yeah.
financially, we should. If that one man could do $3.5 million in gold bars to totally transform the water of an entire, I don't know if it's the country or just Osaka, right?
Right.
Think about the billions that, Zuckerberg and Bezos and that other guy,
Yeah.
uh, they could feed America.
Stop playing with electric cars and rockets and help out people.
Absolutely,
I mean, come
absolutely.
on. I could give a fuck about electric cars and rockets.
Right. But the electric cars are actually like looking better right now because gas
Well, I
prices are
get
through the
that. They
fucking
do
roof.
look cool, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But why are we having wars? Why are we in Venezuela taking over? You know, think about the money we're spending. Stop
It's
laughing at me.
oil. All about oil. It's terrible. This is all
Right.
about oil. And it's,
And everyone's like, "Oh, America's so strong. We are isolated. We
bro,
are
if
completely isolated."
like, China and Japan have already said, Iran, if USA comes and gets you, you can have our full military. We got you. What?
But but I can tell you this, Barron Trump's not going to get drafted.
No.
But your son might. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Luckily, I will say though, my son does have some of the flattest feet I've ever seen in my life, and that's what the doctor said too. So maybe not,
Is he a good
but
swimmer?
he's decent.
Because of flat feet, like
Hmm.
fins. Um, so you went on live a year ago. You have
I did.
45,000 followers. Is that right?
No, 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 no. No. I got like 19,000.
Oh, what is it? 45,000 likes, or I saw like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
probably.
your DJ sessions are scheduled. So you put a schedule out.
Yeah, I usually do. Like I said, I just took a break, but I was doing basically 5 nights a week from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock Eastern.
6 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I want to say something to Leslie Flowers. Leslie Flowers, I wrote an article, and within the article, I said in the beginning that it was you that inspired me to take a look into all of these areas. Leslie is saying oil and Epstein
Right.
are what's going on. I 100% agree with her on that.
So do I. It is profitable on TikTok, depending on how you want to do it. So there are certain ways to be profitable on TikTok. One is going live, and you get live gifts from viewers at that moment. And another way is to sell products through the TikTok shop by doing creating these DIY commercials. And those are and then a third way is by creating videos that go viral, and you get paid on that video by views and engagement on that video. So there's 3 different ways to do that on TikTok. I do all 3. I
So,
figured if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
so this is what I will say. I would run by Gabe's page, Gpop, and why'd you change your name to Gabe?
Oh, on the screen?
Yeah,
Oh,
change your
because
name.
I thought we were just going to do that.
Well, no, no, no. Go back to Gpop so people know
Okay,
how to
I'll do it.
find you on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's hard for me to say Gpop because I don't know.
I got you.
Um, but he does these videos where he is selling stuff, and I think I literally told you one day I had no idea you were selling something. I
Yeah.
literally thought you were just talking to the camera and like you
Right.
had found this new thing that you loved. But he is selling sweatpants. He's selling shirts. He is selling workout equipment that I would never use.
And you want to know the real thing about this? Everything, every single thing except one item. I have over 500 items, except just for one, I've gotten them all for free.
But how? Okay, so this is where you're going to talk to the audience for a moment, because everyone knows that I'm diabetic and I have to take
Right.
bathroom breaks every so often. But Coach Carey, talk to Gabe. Gabe, talk about TikTok lives
Yeah.
and how you keep trolls away. Because what happens to
Yeah.
me is these little kids keep popping up and calling me an egg and
Yes.
all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. So on that, what I typically do, I have a whole bunch of moderators. So I have a group of moderators, male, female, and they are in every single live that I'm in. And they basically, I let them know, hey, look, if someone says something like this, I want you to mute it and block them. Now, if someone just comes in there and just starts trying to make fun of me, I like the banter sometimes. But if you don't like it, you can tell the moderator, hey, I don't want any of that. I want no trolls. I want nothing like that. Right when it comes up and they catch it, they can go ahead and ban that person, block that person from ever coming back, or at least mute them for the rest of the live. And then they can come back some other time and hopefully act correctly. But yeah, so I been doing the live for a while and I have a DJ format. So I do talk to everyone that comes into my live. And that's how I'm a little different, because you'll have a lot of DJs that do more music, less talk. And then you have people that do a lot of talk and just have some music playing in the background. I'm actually doing some mixing and everything like that while I'm trying to address the chat at the same time. So it does get a little bit busy at times. And then I also do like trivia nights, play some games here and there. I've done some sets where I've played, guessed the soundtrack for the movie type deal. Just different little things like that to try to have fun in the live stream.
Do you pay your moderators?
I don't, but I do send them like little care packages kind of thing. And then some of the samples that I get, if I don't feel like I'm going to use them or someone would have better use for it than I would, I send that to them.
Got it. So I my favorite thing that you were selling were
Yeah.
the swords.
The swords. Yeah.
Yeah, they were magnificent.
Yeah.
And so, guys, I'm watching him talk about this sword, and he pulls out a black one, and all of a sudden, I'm thinking he's talking to himself. Honestly,
Yeah.
he's like, "No, this one's mine. You can't have it, and don't go taking away my stuff." And so I'm like,
This
"Who are
is
you
my
talking
son.
to?" He's like, "My son." So first, I'm going to ask you about those swords.
Yeah.
Like they look dope as hell,
Yeah.
right?
They are.
Are they like the real thing? Were they
They're
heavy?
legit. They're legit. Yeah. They're totally legit. You could like take them somewhere and get them sharpened. Yeah.
And when you were talking to your son,
Yeah.
you were like, "Stay out of my stuff." So it looked like you were fighting over like your toys. Like, no, this is
Yeah.
mine.
I told
So,
him because so I have three in total, three swords.
uh-huh.
And that one was my favorite because it reminded me of Blade. And I was like, no, I'm gonna be motherfucking Blade. He was like,
Right?
no, he goes, I want to be Blade. I said, no, I'm gonna be motherfucking Blade. I said, hold on, we gotta do this again, and I gotta record it.
Okay. All right. All right. So,
Yeah.
so you staged it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I had to. I was like, that was too good. We gotta do this again.
it was so well done. Like I didn't. That's the great part of the way that you operate
Yeah,
is it doesn't seem like you're selling something.
I appreciate
You're
that.
like, hey, I just got this shirt. What do y'all think? And I'm just like, nice shirt, And all of a sudden it's like, and you can buy it here
Yeah, I'm like, hit the shopping cart below.
for 19.99. So Do you ever DJ? So I do my own music,
Mhm.
right? What are your thoughts on AI?
I think it's cool. I know a lot of
So
people using it.
so have you ever? How do you DJ? So if I sent you like my catalog,
Hmm.
right, and wanted to do like a collab,
Hmm.
can you DJ AI generated content?
Yeah. Well,
They're,
I
they're
gotta
all
check on it.
MP4. They're all MP4
Well, no, I know.
files.
I mean, I can do it. I would have to check on TikTok for that one though, because I know that there was some stuff about it. But if you're playing it on your TikTok now, then there probably isn't a problem. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
no. I upload them, and I've never
Yeah.
gotten a problem
Oh,
with it.
okay. Yeah, there
Because
shouldn't be a problem then. That's easy.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun. And Aaron Gibson also has a very huge following. He's called Soul Man.
Oh, okay.
Um, he he does his own music too. So maybe the three of us one day could do something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah,
So let's
definitely.
let's talk about how you got supporters. I want to get not supporters but sponsors. I wear Tom Fords every place I go. Right, I have these in four different colors. So I want Tom Ford to send me samples, and I want to be like a Tom Ford salesperson.
Yeah.
What's the first step in doing that?
So it's getting noticed, and that's the only reason why I got so many brands to send me so many free things and back me and stuff like that. So um, that arm trainer thing I told you about, I
Yeah.
uploaded the video and it got over 1 million views. Where last summer, I did this over a year ago, where last summer I was selling um, 200 to 300 of them a day.
What?
Yeah, a day. So it was just flying. And once that happens and your GMV gets to a certain height, TikTok rewards you by making you like so you start off like a bronze creator, then a silver, then gold and diamond and ruby and platinum and so on and so forth. I got up there. And once you get up there, brands, they send that to brands. They're like, hey, look at this guy. And then the brands are like, hey, we want to give you this and we want you to shoot a video on this. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. So it really is it's getting noticed. That's how I did it. I don't know another way to do it.
Yeah.
Other than just, grinding at it, but it's
What
a
made
full-time job.
what made you stand out to people?
I think because I was just standing in front of the camera being authentic. It wasn't a script. I was just talking to, basically myself because that's all I saw was myself when I'm recording. So I'm basically talking to myself and making a commercial or a DIY information video that I would watch if I stopped and I was like, okay, this guy just told me enough. That's all I need to know. I'm good. You know, So, because some people they over explain it, they say way more than they need to, where you have a minute video that could have been 15 seconds,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's all people that attention span. People rarely have that 20-second attention span anymore. It's like a 15-second, maybe a 12. So that's what's tough.
Leslie, I think she's talking to you. Wants to know why not choose Ragnar.
What do you mean?
I don't know. What does Ragnar mean? I thought it had to do with Blade. But
Oh, that. Oh, yeah. So Blade is because of my age, I think. Growing up, that was my guy right there, and I read the comic books as well. So
got you. Got
yeah,
you. So getting noticed, how would that work as an introvert?
as an
I am an
introvert,
introvert.
so
What are you?
um, a lot of people. I'm an extrovert. A lot of people, to an extent, though. A lot of people, though, they say this. They've said that to me, like, "Hey, you're on there. You're natural." Da 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 da. When you're on TikTok and you're live, all you see is yourself and people's words. And then you can even mask that. You can swipe on the screen, and all your whole screen is just the chat. You don't even see yourself. And that's the easiest way, because all you're doing is reading people's words and then answering them. And all they do is hear your voice. They see you, but you don't
Right.
see them seeing you. You know what I mean? So you just see a screen with words on it, and you're just talking and answering questions and just telling people about your day or however you want your live to go. You know, you will attract the people that dig the way you run your live, you know. And that's the way I got as many followers as I do, because I never went on these pages where it's follow you, follow me, all this crap. I got all my followers from my live. So they came in, they got to see the real me talking and engaging and everything. They've spoken to me, and then they decided to follow me.
You know, one of the things that you do that I think is amazing is, I don't know if it's genuine, um, but you tend to laugh with your audience and seemingly know who they are.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
You're
Yeah, I
like,
talk to everybody. If I miss anyone in the chat, my moderators tell me. If I missed talking to, if someone said something to me and I missed it, they will pin it up there to remind me, hey, Gpop, this person said this. Remember to address them, because I told them I want to talk to everyone that comes into my live, no
but
matter what.
you posted something and I responded.
Hmm.
I think you said um, that as a content creator, that it's hard out there for a pimp. Like you
It
didn't
is.
say that, but
Yeah,
basically you said that.
it is.
And I replied and I said, I don't have a job right now.
Yeah.
And you said, but your comments and your repost are enough.
Yep.
And that type of energy
Yeah.
um, is, I think, what draws people to you.
Gotcha.
Because you're not just seemingly, you're not just DJing. You're like, hey, Bill, how's it going?
Right.
You know, and then you get these little things on your head, and I don't know how to
Right.
get those. And you're like, oh, thank you for this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
so how did you get people to start doing that? Like,
They just did. They just did. I didn't ask for it. I've never asked anyone for a gift ever.
and do you get paid when you get? Uh,
You
th-
do.
so
You
these are.
do.
I'm not asking about Gpop right now.
Yeah.
I'm asking as Bill,
Yeah.
who just started TikTok. I started in December,
Hmm.
and I think I have 2,000 followers, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I did do the follow you, follow me thing for a little
Yep.
while, right?
Yeah.
The thing you told me not to do. Um, but whenever I go live, there's two things that I'm bad at.
Hmm.
One thing is asking for stuff. So
I
I
wouldn't.
forget to tell people
Yeah.
subscribe to my channel. So if you're sitting here right now, subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Right.
If you're up there on TikTok, well, TikTok just froze me. I don't understand why that happens. Um, because I have to, the little puzzle thing to say I'm still there,
Hmm.
but I'm talking to it, so I don't understand why it doesn't recognize
Right.
me.
I've gotten there. I've been there.
Um, so being a man of a certain age, I have totally forgotten what I was talking to you about.
About getting paid on live.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So where I fail
Hmm.
is I don't have any. I'm a one man show right now, so I don't have anyone moderating anything. And when I'm on TikTok, I'm normally talking to like a friend on TikTok so that I can have a conversation with someone.
Hmm.
But I'm not really great at saying, hi, Gabe, how's it
Right.
going?
Right.
Or, letting you in. So, how did you establish that? How do you, without the moderators, how
Yeah.
would you
Without the
navigate that?
moderators, if you're more of So there's some streamers that are information givers. They're just on the screen to give information. They're not really in like answering questions through the chat or chatting like that. So they don't even look at the chat. They just sit there and just start talking. And then there's people that go into the chat and do all that. So sometimes they'll ignore the trolls and just let it go.
Yep.
And sometimes they will physically reach out to the camera, to the phone, and do it themselves.
Yeah.
Um, when it gets really big, like for instance, my live has fluctuated because the app has fluctuated a lot and over the past, year.
This time.
And you
It's been a
know,
year since it's fluctuated, or has it been
yeah,
since
it's it's gone up and down here and there. There's been times where my live I've had over 2,000 viewers to all the way down to 50 viewers. So it just fluctuates. It all depends on what's going on, what the holiday is, or whatever, or who's the, newest flavor on the live, you know, menu. So I'm not one that goes after leagues, where you can progress and everything like that. It's a scam. It really is.
wait. So what all right, so what are leagues?
So leagues. So whenever you start live on TikTok, you start in, I think it's D5. And then if some people start throwing you gifts and everything like that, you start accumulating diamonds. The more diamonds you get, you'll start growing up to leagues. The top creators are in A1. The only difference between those is the gifts that you're given cost more and are worth more. That's it.
So I made hold on for a second, because I know this is gonna blow your fucking mind. I made 4 cents last month.
Right. So TikTok takes a big chunk of it.
4 cents. But
TikTok takes a big chunk of those
but
gifts.
it means I didn't get any gifts. Like really.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't gotten to that, nor have I tried to get to the
Okay.
point where I'm
Yeah.
getting gifts. Why I'm on TikTok was because I took my show on hiatus, and I still wanted to maintain
Hmm.
a presence and still um, be able to talk to people, and I didn't want to lose that muscle, you know.
Yeah.
So I went on TikTok while I was on hiatus from the show, because it was between December and January 15th. So like right around, from Christmas to here. I was out of town and I didn't have time to schedule my shows every Sunday at 4. So I
Hmm.
just told everybody that I was going dark. So now that I have the followers, I'm going live, but I'm not going live with intention.
Yeah. I get it.
So I'm just trying to figure out,
Just kind of doing pop up lives as you
yeah,
feel like you want to.
as
Yeah.
I feel like it. Yeah. Or um, Coach Carey is just a huge inspiration to everybody. And,
Hmm.
the things that she says, and she has just a natural humor about her. So I'll pull her into a line, because it's easy when I can like bounce off of somebody else.
Right. I get it.
Jackie, just Jax, you know, again, 100%.
Yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Oh, yeah.
All
100%.
right, Peter.
Damn right.
All right. And Leslie said bingo. Leslie also said if you don't tell people what to do, they're not going to do it. So I'm going to tell everybody right now. I have a GoFundMe right now that's happening. Because, shut up, Gabe. Because I told Gabe that my car's about to be repossessed. And he told me, he was like, they gonna take it, bro. They gonna take
Yeah, I
it.
did.
I was like, what if I parked it sideways? He's like, you can just
No.
you can just say goodbye to that. And
Yeah.
it's been rough. I've been, you you were in a position
Hmm.
where you sold your business.
Yep.
You were in a position to decide it's time to walk away.
Yeah.
I owned my business and it just collapsed in 2021.
Yeah.
And since then, meaning collapse, meaning that I did everything I could to save it. What does that mean? It means you've been a business owner.
Hmm.
So when you're trying to save something, it means you're taking money from you
Oh yeah.
and you're putting it into that business. That's
Hmm.
the biggest mistake. I think a lot of people say that's the biggest mistake that you can do
Yeah.
because you can't pay yourself back first
Right.
when the business, if the business folds, right? Um, and so, I had a decent savings, but I'm trying to save a business. And then since then, I've applied everywhere, like everywhere. And I've had, a gig for a year and a gig for like 6 months.
Hmm.
But that's between 2021 and 2026.
Yeah, it's rough out there.
It is. It is. And I feel like I've asked and I've told people, hey, can you help me out? Here's my PayPal account. Here's this. And there's so many people that have said yes. But in this moment, I need a team of people. Like
Yeah.
I need everyone to contribute $5.
Right.
Instead of one person doing 100. It's that magnitude. It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever said out loud
Yeah.
because I've never I've always been independent, and so but at this point, it's self-preservation,
I get that.
you know. And you and I were talking. You said you would never do a GoFundMe. Um, how how have you during this period where you said I didn't think that I would be in certain situations?
Hmm.
How have you navigated that safely?
You know, trusting my gut, honestly, first and foremost. Not, if you ever want to hear the wrong answer, ask 20 people in the room.
Absolutely.
I went to, you know, just trusting my gut. Oh, Nick. So I was already in the, I was already an athlete. So I was already into training and doing all that stuff. And so I've always been in the gym or some type of physical type fitness. And so I just kept that. That was always a hobby of mine or passion of mine.
Absolutely. What keeps you motivated every day?
Um, just my want to succeed for my family. Just to succeed as a man and reach my goals. I'm very goal oriented. I now want to reach those goals for myself. I love those just personal achievements where I just can celebrate myself and to myself and I know I did it, you know.
What is a personal achievement to you? Is it money?
Um no, has nothing to do with money.
Okay.
Um
Preach.
health, health, fitness goals that I just put in my head. I'm like, okay, this is the way I want to look and this is the way I want to perform. And, as far as being able to do things for myself and I don't want to grow old and be a burden. I want to grow old and prosper still, you know. Um, but those personal achievements, learning something new as far as DJing, um, just learning different things. That's a big personal achievement that I really feel everyone should have for themselves is, when you learn something, that's impressive. When you really learn how to do something. I mean, you just learned something. I mean, shit, it's
Yeah.
impressive. We don't celebrate that enough. We celebrate first steps and then we stop fucking celebrating. It's like, hey, first steps. Oh, he or she read a word and then the celebration stops. We should really celebrate, learning new things, people getting promotions and stuff like that. Well, luckily enough, my kids are grown. My youngest is 17, so he's almost, you know, he's a big boy now. But you know, at first, I think my youngest son was kind of like grossed out that I was becoming a creator, and then he started digging it, because he knows how I am. I'm a really chill guy. I
Grossed
used to,
out because you're a creator.
yeah, just because of my age and everything, and I get it. I'm his dad, so
So, does your family support what when I say family, I mean just like not your wife and your kids, but like just in general.
oh yeah.
Do they
100%.
su-
My parents are 100% supportive. So, my parents actually moved over here after I did to be closer to me, and I look after them and take care of them whenever they need it. They're in their mid to late 70s, and I'm always there for them. And they're actually going on a cruise tomorrow, and I was talking to them earlier. So they're going to the Bahamas.
Okay.
Yeah,
So from
Jacksonville, Florida.
okay.
They're going to drive over to Jacksonville and then jump on the
That's a
boat.
that's a they're doing a 4 night.
I think so. Yeah, 4 or 5, something like that.
Yeah, the Bahamas is fun, and
Yeah,
I'm have you gone cruising before?
I only went once, and it was like a carnival cruise. They're going on Norwegian. Um,
So they're doing upscale.
yes, yeah, that's the way they do that. They've done very. My parents have done very, very, very well for themselves, and they're retired now and chilling. You know,
Right
so
on.
yeah,
So I find that cruises are too scheduled for me for a vacation.
yeah.
Like you have to get off the boat at a very specific
So
time.
you don't have to though. You can just be like, I'm not doing no excursions. I'm chilling, and you could
I
just chill on the boat.
I did that once, and
Yeah.
I'm mad at myself. I think I was in Croatia,
Hmm.
and I never left. And the reason why I didn't
Hmm.
the reason why I didn't leave everyone is because I was so hungover that I was like, fuck this. I'm not
Yeah.
getting, I'm just going to sleep in. I don't care about Croatia. I remember looking out and seeing like this beautiful, wherever we were from like the balcony,
Yeah.
but I never left that plane, never left that ship.
It's too funny.
And then when I went to, because on that trip, I went to Greece and I just remember running through the city
Mhm.
because you don't have time. Like you have 8 hours to see everything in Santorini.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you're like
It's
run,
ridiculous.
yeah. You're like, okay, now we take the donkeys down to the ship, and then you go
Yeah.
over.
I remember when we did ours, we did a few of the excursions, but one of them we said we didn't want to, but we did get off the boat. We just went to a taxi driver and said, "Hey, just take us to the beach." And that's what we did,
Yeah,
you know.
I did that. I don't know if it was the Bahamas or not, but I got into a taxi cab and said, "Take me to the best restaurant ever." I swear to God, that man took me to his mama's house. I swear. There was a goat walking around. I was
Right.
like, where do all the locals go? I don't want to go to you
Yeah.
know, anything fancy. And yeah, I'm still kind of thinking about was that the best life choice that I've made? But when we were younger,
Yeah.
like let's have fun. Woohoo!
100%. 100%.
So what's the biggest thing that you want people to take away about who you are and what you bring to the table?
I've lived through a lot. Um, more than, of course, more than we've even discussed during this. But, um, you know, it took it took a lot of pain and cruelty for me to become this chill in my lifetime. And I want people to know that I'm just one of those people that grew up in the 80s, got down in the 90s, had fun in the 2000s, still having fun. But I analyze everything. You know, I'm not quick at making decisions. I'm more of a low key. I don't want any of the, sorry, a reminder to take out my trash.
It sounded like a DJ's ringtone. So,
But
pardon me.
no, just I'm just a low key kind of chill guy now. You know, I'm not that I'm not the guy I was when I was in my 20s, you know.
But you're not supposed to be.
I know. I know, and
When
I'm glad I'm not, you know. I do have friends though I keep in touch with. I'm like, man, you haven't changed yet.
when you say a lot of pain and a lot of cruelty, I don't want you to get into anything you don't want to get into.
Oh no, I'm good. To be so my father is European, white dude. My mother is 100% Puerto Rican. Um, Growing up, my father was a police officer. One, two, he was a alcoholic. Growing up with that man, I still don't understand his frame of mind, but or what he was thinking. But he was very racist. But he married a 100% Puerto Rican woman who's dark, dark, who's been mistaken to be a black woman. And growing up, he reminded her of that, kept her from teaching me Spanish, put his hands on my mom more than I can count. By the age of 5, by the age of 5, we were able to run away from him.
Yeah.
When we were the night we were running away from him, I remember this as a 5-year-old. This is one of my only memories when then. But he made the front windshield a spider web by hitting it with a golf club. Me sitting right in the front seat with my mother. He did that. He swung that at the windshield, and he was
As,
obviously intoxicated.
as she's fleeing.
Yes, as we were fleeing from the home. And once we left there, we went and lived with her best friend. They made the house to where she slept with her best friend in that room, and then I had the other bedroom. And they both put their money together and got this Doberman that was a guard dog. His name was Bear, and he's the one. You know, they put their money together to buy this dog to keep at the house because my mother was scared. After that, I guess things started getting better with my father here and there, but it didn't get better. It got better with my mother, but it didn't get better with me because I was having to be flopped back and forth, you know, going to see him, going to see her, and everything. And he didn't stop drinking until I was in my older teenage years. So I went through all that with him, and it was just a lot of abuse, um, a lot of just hateful words, things like that, and words told you so many times you almost start believing it.
That is a very unique story. Not the abusive part. I actually attached, and I understand that. My dad
Yeah,
died when I was 8, but I remember the horror. It it affects you
yeah,
forever. I remember at 8 years old thinking, when my father died and everyone asked if I was okay, I just felt like it was over.
you're right.
Like the 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 intensity was over and I could
Hmm.
breathe. But what has to be a mind fuck is your dad being racist.
So there was a time where I was younger. I was maybe 10, a little bit under, and I was with my dad that weekend, and he called my mom, and I was in the other room, but I could hear him because he has the voice like me, and it just carries. And he was telling my mom, "Hey, I need to bring him back to you." Well, my mother worked at the hospital at that time, and she couldn't. She was a nurse at the hospital. She said, "No, I mean, I'm in the middle of my shift. You know, this is your weekend. You got him." You know, and he says, my mom's name is Norma, and he said, "Norma, how am I going to take this kid to that barbecue being as brown as he is?" And I didn't understand that.
That kid, number
Yeah,
one.
Right. He didn't say my son.
Yeah.
He said that kid being as brown as he is.
How
Like I was that spick, that he found on the corner or something like that.
how did you reconcile that? Because I've always asked myself,
Yeah.
because mine died, right?
Yeah.
How would I forgive him?
I haven't.
Okay. All
Mm-mm.
right.
I lost respect for him once I figured out what that was, and I never gained respect for him ever again.
But you just said he's
Just
doing well.
I don't know if he is.
Okay. 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 So your mom remarried?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm sorry.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right.
Once I got old enough, my mom met this man, and they started their relationship and everything like that, and they went and got married when I was about 16, 17 years old. And my mom, let me go back. Whenever she left my father, she made sure she did not bring another man in the house while she was raising me because of the way that man treated me, because of what he did to me. And she made sure that she did not have another man in the house until I was old enough. And then I met her current husband. I met him first and everything, and we hung out for months. I mean, close to a year before it was even him coming over and spending the night, you know. So, but they ended up getting married, and they're still married to this day. And that man treats my mother like a queen, like a queen. And I call him Pop.
Absolutely.
My real father, I haven't spoken to in almost 10 years because he's still the same man. He hasn't changed. I gave him a chance, and he chose not to take that chance. And so, sorry. I'm just looking for your obituary now. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have to do that.
Yeah.
That's self-preservation.
Yeah.
You have a real father.
Right.
You have someone that treats you the way that a father should treat you.
Exactly.
It is just because you donated your sperm doesn't make you a
Right.
father.
Right.
One of my best friends, and we're just going to stick on this for a second, but his stepdad was a grand wizard in the KKK.
Wow.
And it's very interesting because he's so far removed from that. But when he told me, this is UBU Live, when he told me, we had to have a conversation
Mhm.
because I did not understand. Grand Wizard means that you are like way up there in your
Big dog.
wizardism. you
Yeah.
know? Um,
He knows the whole book.
yeah. And his family treats me extremely well.
Yeah.
People can change.
Right.
Some you're in your situation, obviously not.
Right.
But racism is something that I just cannot understand.
The isms is what we need the cures for. Racism, narcissism.
All of it.
That's what we need
All
the
of
cures
it.
for. Man.
All of it. Hating people just because they're not like you.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And here we are.
Right.
We don't know each other.
And that
You're
whole old thing
here.
where moms used to tell somebody, it ain't hurting you, leave it alone.
Mm-mm.
It ain't hurting you. It's not hurting you for that
You
person to be
be
trans. It
you.
ain't hurting you for that person to be gay. It ain't hurting you for them to be in MAGA. It ain't hurting for you. It ain't hurting you.
I will stop you for a second there, my brother. MAGA is hurting a lot of
Well,
people.
no. I mean, yeah, main man, yeah.
Yeah.
MAGA themselves is just
I
blowhards.
again, and we talked about this, and we're not going to go into it. But
Yeah.
people voting against their own interests, I will never understand that.
Me neither. Me
Yeah,
neither.
but we're not going to make this a political show
Yeah.
because I'm sure between the two of us, we can go through a bunch of
Oh yeah.
isms.
Yeah.
Um, what we want we want a
Cure the
cure
isms
the
t-shirt.
isms T-shirt. Okay,
100%.
And Coach Carey, I believe you can make that.
Yep.
Um, this has been fascinating. Like your life has been fascinating.
There's a lot more.
Go ahead, tell me.
There's a lot more.
And I'm gonna put you up on stage for a second
All right.
while you tell the people.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm 50 years old now, but when I was 37 years old, I was working in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at a motorcycle shop. And sitting there, I was a parts manager at that shop. And my best friend from high school actually came to work for me as my assistant manager. And we're sitting there one day, just hanging out, relaxing. And I had put my hand up to like scratch my head or something. And when I brought my hand down, I looked at my hand and it's like it almost went in slow motion like this, real slow. And I looked up and I could see all these different colors and like a kaleidoscope effect and stuff like that. Started sweating. And my buddy looks at me and he's like, "Gabe, you all right?" And I said, "No, I mean, I'm feeling weird." They end up taking me to the hospital. And the one doctor said it was a migraine. It was just a bad migraine and everything. And another doctor said, "Hey, we want to keep him here and check him out and everything like that." Come to find out, I had 2 strokes. Yeah. And they wanted to find out why I had these strokes because I'm a physical guy, not sitting around all the time or anything like that. I'm not getting like blood clots or anything. So they wanted to find out why. So they had me in the hospital there in Baton Rouge for a while, and they finally did what's called a TEE, a transesophageal echocardiogram, where they put this tube down your throat and it has a camera on it where they can look at the back of your heart. And they did that and they saw a hole in my heart, and I was born with it. Now, all of us have a hole in our heart when we are in our mother's womb, and when we come out and cry the first time, that hole closes. Mine did not. And so after time, over the time and stuff like that, it started having an aneurysm on that hole. And when it did, it became a little deformed and blood would pool around that hole. And then it would form a clot and throw it and hit my brain just quick, quick, quick. And that's what happened. So I ended up, and after a CT scan, they saw another stroke that I had previously that I wasn't aware of, and I did not know of it. So I've had 3 in total. And the only thing that it did affect was some of my memory, my short-term memory at times and things like that. It did affect that. But, and a little bit of like just little things that I noticed, like say I watched a movie last week and then someone asked me, "How'd you like that movie?" I'm like, "What movie? I don't remember seeing that movie." And then I'll watch it. I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay." Well, I'm like 10 minutes in it and I'm like, "Oh, now I remember." But I just watched it last week. So sometimes that happens to me. Not very often, but there has been times it does. So, but I got through all that and got on the medication. They gave me all this medication and I didn't want to be on it. So I started getting back into the gym and doing my thing. And that ended up working out good. My throat. Hold on real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, so got back in the gym and that was my saving grace because I started slowly doing my thing, watching what I was eating, and they started taking me off all the medications. Never been on any more medications ever again. Still go to the gym 3-4 times a week and eat healthy. That's all I do, really.
And I'm about to fry some chicken.
But I still have my moments. So every single Friday, the one of those grocery pizzas, I eat an
Hmm.
entire cheese pizza. I have some ice cream afterwards every single Friday. I do it.
You put the ice cream on the pizza?
No, not at all.
So you had 3 strokes
I did.
and you didn't know about it.
Mm-mm. The one stroke I didn't know about. The other two happened right up back to back. And I knew something was weird, but I didn't know what was happening.
So the one stroke, how did you know that you had the one stroke?
They did
I
a
missed
CT
that.
scan.
But did you feel anything?
No, I don't remember anything from that. Nope. Yeah, they told me, said, yeah, you had an old stroke at some time, but we see it on your brain, but and I was like, yeah, I don't know. They said I could have had it while I was sleeping.
That's interesting. And
Yeah.
the other thing that's interesting is that people can, sorry, people can have mild heart attacks and not know it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
always like it. That always creeps me out. What other odd things have you lived through that most people have not?
I've been to prison.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I was, after I was shot and I was in limbo in my life, didn't know what I should do at that time. So I was doing a lot of partying, a lot of hanging out, a lot of chilling, a lot of going to the beach because I was growing up in Tampa, Florida, hanging out with women and all kinds of stuff. Still living off that boxing glory and whatever. But one night I put my hands on somebody. I'm not going to get into it, but I put my hands on somebody in defense of someone else. But I did it at a later time. You know what I'm saying? So it was premeditated.
Right, right, right. So it wasn't in the middle of it.
It wasn't in the heat of passion, heat of the moment. It was after the fact. And I saw this person and it just, that's
Triggered
all I
you.
saw, and did what I do. And what I did in the ring, that's what I did. And I hurt him very badly and ended up getting 79 months in Florida State Penitentiary.
Wow.
So, since I had never done anything before, I was still very young. I was under 20 years old. Um, I had never gotten in trouble before or anything like that. When I went, they put me in a juvenile prison. But the other nickname for that is gladiator camp. The reason they call it that, because in a juvenile prison, there's no raping. There's just fighting.
Okay.
That's all you do. So I went through that and I was in there for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. And they had this program called boot camp at another prison. And what it is they take you out of your current prison and they put you in that boot camp for 4 months. Once you complete it, you get out on like probation or parole. So I did that. I was approved for that because I was what's called a model prisoner. I didn't start any trouble. I did what I was supposed to do and went through my stuff. Also, they did school there, but I already had my diploma. I didn't need to go to school to get a GED or anything. So I worked in the law library while I was
Nice.
there, just to try to learn something different. And then I worked out. Then I would go to the law library. Then I go to the gym. And that was my day. And then at night, I worked in the officer's commissary and I shined shoes. I shined boots, the officer's boots. So I did that and it kept me busy and it made time go by quick. I did the boot camp thing, which was hard as hell, but me staying into, thank you, Leslie. I appreciate you. Um, you know, me staying physically fit and everything like that, it made it easier, even the way my wrist was, because they almost denied me because of my wrist, because I can't put it flat on the ground to do a push-up, but I can
But you
do it.
work out every day.
Right, but I can do a push-up, just not with my palm flat. I do it differently. I put my fingers on the ground like this,
Okay.
and then I do a push-up. So once they saw me do that and I could outpush some of the other guys, they were like, okay, yeah, you're good. So I ended up doing that. Well, here's where the story gets real fun. I get out my last day there and I go and report. They said, hey, since you live in this county, in this city in Florida, you have to go to a halfway house, which also is called a restitution center. Well, when I was in court, because of what happened, because that person did what I beat him for, there was an agreement that I didn't have to pay his medical bills. So I didn't owe restitution. So I'm bucking. I'm telling these people, hey, I shouldn't go here. I don't need to go here. I don't owe any restitution. They're like, hey, we ain't got nothing for, we can't do nothing about it. We don't make those decisions. I'm like, how the hell do I get out of here? They said, break out and get a warrant put out for your arrest. Damn straight if I didn't. I sure did. Got a warrant put out for my arrest, got in front of a judge. Long story short in that is I was standing in front of the judge, and he looked at me and he said, sir, why did you break out of that restitution center? I said, because, sir, I don't owe any restitution, and they were holding me there. And he looked at the paperwork. He said, you're right. Boom, time served. And I was
There
done.
you go.
Yep.
There
Because
you
I
go.
opened my mouth,
I
you
would have
know?
been I would have been afraid.
Yeah.
I
And
I
that's what
would
happens to a lot of people. They'll get a public defender. That public defender, right before that happened, before all of that, the public defender came to me. He said, hey, I can get you 8 years. I said, you can shut the fuck up. I'm talking.
a lot of, and I'm going to say this. Um, I'm going to say a lot of people that don't come from money.
Right.
It's a different justice system
Yeah.
because literally the public defenders will tell people to plea because otherwise you're going to get this, and then people plea to things.
100%.
They plea because then they may not have to go to jail as long,
Right.
and they forget that that is on their record for life, even though you didn't do it,
Yep.
and you could not afford the right attorney.
Hmm.
It,
The
it, it,
best
it's
advice I can give anyone is don't say shit. Shush. Be quiet. Don't talk. Somebody want to ask you all kinds of questions, see my attorney and get the best attorney you can. But
but not a public defender.
no, not a public defender because they're not there to defend you.
They really aren't. They're not, and that's
We call them public pretenders.
yeah, and that's why when you look at the the prison system,
Yeah,
right? There's more people in there that could have got off had they had the right attorney.
100%.
Had they had the right attorney.
Yeah,
Um, so last question.
yeah.
So how in juvenile,
Hmm.
how do they protect rape, but they can't protect it in a regular penitentiary?
They
Penitentiary.
don't protect it. They just don't do it because it's younger kids and they're not into it yet.
You mean so who does the act? Is it the prison people? I mean the guards?
No, no, no. It's prisoners on prisoners.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right. All right.
in big boy jail. But there's I've seen officers get canned. They got fired and sent off the out of the prison. Female officers. They started getting friendly with the
I
inmate
heard
here
about
or
that.
there, and would have sex with them, and then they would get shipped off. They would get fired. Um, but then you also have like male guards at a female prison. And then you could have some male guards at a male prison.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
You
it's all
never
over
know.
the place. But
You never know. You never
it's
know.
just when you get people together, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. They're going to figure it out. We're going to find a
Right.
way.
Is there anything else that you want to share? Because your life is so interesting. I don't know the right questions to ask. And every time you make a statement, something like even bolder comes out.
Right.
And and what we see is this peaceful, soulful,
Yeah.
um,
So
joyful man in front of
yeah.
us, right? And your life, like most of us, has not gone like this.
Right.
It's gone like this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've always wanted to try stuff. When there was an opportunity, I didn't turn down a lot of opportunities. when I was living in Louisiana, even though I was very busy in the motorcycle industry, they shoot a lot of TV shows out there. And I was in my, in my dealership that day, and I got approached by a casting person, and they were like, "Hey, you ever been on TV or anything? You want to be a background actor?" I'm like, "Sure, let's do it."
Yeah.
And I ended up being on 4 TV shows. And it was cool. It
What
was
TV
super cool.
shows?
One was called The Zoo, where it was where animals were no longer scared of us, and they were attacking humans. So I was a biker dude that was armed with all kinds of guns and everything, and I would transport people from one safe area to another safe area. And there was a whole bunch of scenes I was in that. Then I was on one called Scream Queens, and I was in a diner scene quite a few times on that.
Scream
um
Queens was just a few years ago, wasn't it? Maybe
yeah,
10 years
yeah.
ago?
And then I was on
Yeah.
an NCIS or a CSI, one of the two. I was on one of those. It was so many years ago. And then I was on a uh, some kind of documentary where they were doing like a replay, like a they were doing a like something happened in the past, but they were showing it on the screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like an adaptation, of what happened in the past. So that's all it was a documentary, and they had me in it. So it was pretty cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, yeah, it
I
was
like
something totally out of my wheelhouse that I never thought about doing before, and then I saw it, and I was like, all right, cool.
so me and my family love New Orleans.
Yeah,
Um like love it. Like we can go there like 3 times a year. Just
yeah.
just just on the weekend for food. How was it growing up or living? I don't know if you grew up, but living in Baton Rouge.
Well, living in Baton Rouge, I was an adult at that time, but yeah, it was cool. I loved it. Then I moved from Baton Rouge and went over to Slidell, and I lived on Lake Pontchartrain, and basically it was the first exit off of the uh, the long 7 mile bridge from New Orleans over and stuff like that. So I could sit there and fish and everything and just look out there and see the whole skyline. I absolutely loved it. I loved it. And then we would go down to New Orleans and hang out on Bourbon Street and do our thing and go to Cafe Du Monde and all that good stuff. So yeah,
I still don't hate me, everyone. I am still not a Cafe Du Monde. What are they called?
the powdered or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still don't like them.
no,
I don't think they're that
I
good.
mean, it's
It-
nothing like I crave or anything like that, and I'll eat it. But
but
if
you
I
have to
go
get
there and
it
I
when you're
don't have
there,
it, yeah, if I
right?
don't get it, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, but like you have to get them whenever I go to New Orleans,
Yeah,
I do get them,
right,
and I never come back with that like, oh, now I get it.
right, right, right.
It's like never
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
All right, my man. Well, you said you are you take time and think through
Mhm.
everything before you do it.
Yeah.
But you said yes to this really quick.
Well, because I've never done something like this before, and like I said, I always jump at an opportunity if I think it's a good one. You know.
Aw.
Um, So after, looking at your content and then our exchange on my lives or through my, comments and stuff like that, I felt like this was a good step and the way that you approached me to do it. Definitely, I was inclined to do it. I
Well,
dig
you
that.
saved me today. You did.
No worries. I appreciate you all. Thank you so
You
much.
saved me. All right, guys. Any last questions for Gabe? Gpop is where you find him on TikTok. Is
Yeah, it's Gpop and then a red X right after that for Generation X.
I just did mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just added it because I didn't know what it was for. But like,
And everyone that comes in my live with that on there, I immediately follow no matter what.
okay.
Mhm.
Well, there you go. Kinga says thank you. Um, Jackie says thank you. Jackie also said that she didn't. I'm going to not quote her, but she basically said God works in mysterious ways because
Yeah.
she said this was a really great conversation,
That's
And a lot
awesome.
of people have said that this has been a really great conversation.
Yeah.
I love meeting people that I don't know
Yeah.
and, trying to explore with them. Glasses are dope. Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you, Tom Ford. Someone call Tom Ford. My new best friend, Gabe. Contact Tom Ford for me. You know how to do all this shit. I don't know how to do it. I don't. Um, you look like you could be one of my cousins, by the way.
Right.
Um, so yeah, let's keep it going. We see each other almost every day,
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form
Right. Right.
on
Right.
TikTok. Um,
I
Kinga
definitely do this again. 100%.
Kinga said he broke, which is her saying that y'all help me with my GoFundMe, and you know, Gabe is already like, bro, your car's already gone.
It's
So like,
God.
just
I
fill
told him
it
to put
up.
it in the garage. Keep it in the garage.
I don't have a garage. I only have a
Yeah.
carport, so it's like,
Now, if you park another car really close behind it, you might be all right.
okay, so let me go find somebody else's car
Right.
because I don't have any friends either. It's like, thanks, Gabe. All
No
right, so
problem.
I'm gonna try to play my outro. Let's see if Gabe hears it
Let's go.
because he's a musical person. Let's see what happens because it did not play in.
Listen loud. Wait. Before you tell. Listen. Listen. Everybody ready just to jump in. Nobody steady when the truth bends. Talking fast, but we missing the point. Trying to win, but we breaking the joint. I see your lips moving, eyes already gone. Loading up a rip block before I'm done. I'm not here to take, I'm not here to fight. I'm here to see you in a clearer light. Slow that rush, let it land. Let the moment hit your hands. We don't gotta tear this down just to prove where we stand. Listen loud, listen clean. Let the love stay in between. Hands up, hearts open, no way. Just focus, listen loud, listen deep. In a pop that isn't me. If we want a better way, we gotta hear it before we leave. Listen, listen right now. Listen, it's that drum line break. No melody, hands clap, feet stomp, bring it back. Oh strong, strong, strong. Listen loud, listen loud. I don't need you thinking like me. I need you standing honestly. Tell me what shaped you, what made you tough, what made you close when it got too rough. You confuse defense with being bold. Call it strength, but it's getting old. You can stand your ground and still stay near. You can speak your truth and keep me here. Take that pause, don't reload. Listening ain't losing control. Two truths breathing one room, still walking out. Listen loud, listen clean. Like a law, stay in between. Hands up, eyes open, no shots. Just focus. Listen loud, listen deep. Hear the wild and make believe. If you want a better way, we gotta feel it before we leave. What if power is the pause? What if love breaks all the laws? What if strength is staying kind? Well, your pride is on the line. Stay here, hear that. Listen loud, listen clean. Stay in between.
Listen loud before you talk. Listen loud, listen clean. Let the love stay in me.
You
continues. Listen loud. Listen clean. Look at you. Let the love stay in between.